Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome in to another Big Man on Campus college football video. It's the mega preview. It's time to break down week 3 in college football. We'll go over as many games as we can over the next hour or so. And we're joined by our regular guest. This is turning into a weekly thing, right side. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing good, man. A little chop it up, talk a little bit of college football, hang out, have some fun on this tough day, as we like to say, Jeff, on 9/11. But, hey, we'll go push through. We'll do some sports. Maybe even get into some 9/11 stuff because actually, Jeff, on my TV, got baseball on one TV, and I love to watch the old 9/11 tapes there. Each and every year, I make it a point to watch them.
Yeah, I think we could all remember where we were on that day. And, I was thinking about this, Donnie, the other day as 9/11 approached. I was out the other night, and I was in line at a store, and a kid behind me, he might have been, I don't know, in high school, 14, 15 years old, and he was just telling me he played football or whatever. And I was thinking in my head, like, damn, this kid wasn't alive for 9/11. Like, he doesn't even remember it. He wasn't around, and life has changed so much since then. And, yeah, I mean, every time you watch that stuff, Donnie, you get a little teary-eyed because you remember where you were. Yeah. You remember all the people that died that day. And, I always remember one thing about that day, Donnie. The dude that jumped, the people that were jumping out of the windows, and just some of the, like, where you have to be in your mind at that point.
The jumpers, actually, there's pictures. They scrubbed a lot of them off the internet, but can you imagine, right? You're like 100 floors up, the floor you're on, you can't get out of it, and your only choice is to burn or jump. Mike, I can't imagine, man.
I read and I think if you're out there and you can read this, there's a piece that was in, I think, the New Yorker, I want to say, and it always circulates every year when September 11th comes out. It's called The Falling Man, and they talk about that nobody knows who that is.
The one guy, yes.
Yeah, he was never identified. The people think they know who he is, but he was never identified. And they talk about how even in the worst time in his life, he's at the point where this is the end, Donnie. He's going to die within 30 minutes, 30 seconds, Yeah. But at that point, in his head, though, he's probably at peace, probably. Like, the article is extremely well done. Might have been the best article I've ever read. And it's extremely poignant, and it was a sad day. Where were you that day, Donnie? You were how old?
I was already a young professional, as I like to say. I graduated college, was in the workforce for about a year and a half. And I remember that day. It was a beautiful day. And I worked the late shift at my mortgage company because we were a national company. So I go into work until 2 o'clock. And my shift actually ended at 10 o'clock at night. So I would sleep late in the morning. And this is before the advent of you got to check your cell phones and text messages. I had a cell phone, don't get me wrong. But I slept in. Nobody called me. I woke up and I actually went. And I still lived with my parents at this time before I even got my own place when I came back from college. I go upstairs and I check the computer. And I'm looking on the internet. And I see the image on like AOL, like way back in the day. And I'm saying to myself, is this like an Onion article or something? I click on it and then I had to get to the TV. And I actually drove into work that day, stayed for like 15 minutes. They told us all to go home. And it's just a surreal day.
Yeah, I think you could all remember, where we were. It definitely was surreal. Things have changed significantly. But welcome into everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. These shows have been, Donnie, very well receptive, if I can say so myself. Getting a lot of views on these. I thank all of you. We're going to try to get to as many games as we can, but before we do so, a couple of shout-outs here. Randy, what's happening? Crypto, Capper, Margarita, Balls Deep, very interesting name. James, got Simon, Lee, Dennis, AJN, what's up? Thanks for watching. Always some interesting names, Donnie, in these chats, aren't there? How was your NFL day, Donnie? It was fun doing the show.
So much fun.
How was the day for you?
So it was just so nice to be back, and it was great because you know me, I have a couple TVs in my basement as is, but I added another little TV on the side and used the Fire Stick for the first time this weekend. So I actually get the ticket for free now, along with the Red Zone and other TV. I was in heaven, man. I was so nice, good to be back. It was so nice. Yeah,
it's a great time to have football back, and it's better to have college football back when you know you have NFL the next day, right? You have kind of 2 days, 3 days in a row. It's There are not a lot of things like football. I love college basketball. It's one of my favorite things on earth, but there's something great about, Donnie, as the weather gets cooler. Around here, we wouldn't know about it. It's
Still
fucking
hot
90
as hell.
degrees today. Yeah. But it's good to be back. It's good to have you here. It's nice talking to you every week. Donnie, before we get to some of the games, kind of a weird week in college football. You got a lot of very random games. You don't got a lot of big-time games. I'm sure we'll find something to watch, though. Before we get into the games, do me a favor, guys. If you're on Twitter, a couple people already retweeted the show. So I thank you for that. If you're on Twitter, please retweet. It's a great way to get the show out there. Maybe people don't know we're on the air or whatever. Donnie, thanks for doing that. We already have our boy Lucky doing that. And shout out to Lucky. I'm actually I'm going to a concert with him next week, Donnie. Looking forward
Rick
to
Ross?
that.
I know Rick Ross is coming. Was it Rick Ross?
No, we're going to Voltage, which is Voltage Lounge is very small. It's very intimate. We're going to see Benny the Butcher, who's one of my favorite rappers right now. Very, very much looking forward to it. So shout out to Lucky. I knew he was a rap guy, so I'm like, you know what? Let me ask my guy if he wants to come, and we're gonna go check out Benny the Butcher. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, if you can retweet the show, I'd appreciate it. It will definitely help out on the back end. But if you're listening to this after we're live, thank you for watching. Donnie, let's get into it. Have you been betting on any college football at all?
No, have not bet on any college football. Just messing around a little bit on like some side stuff, but I just been sitting back and taking it in and trying to wait until conference play starts up and for good.
Anything you're seeing? Anything that you've?
Well, the thing that I'm seeing, which is we see every single year, and sometimes I sit back and question what I'm actually about to do. The 22-yard missed field goals, the drop punts, the fumbled snaps, and they have to remember, like, we're still wagering on 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, and it seems crazy. Now, look, they're awesome athletes. They've been coached really well, but at the end of the day, like, they're not all there, but that's part of the charm about college sports and college football.
I'll tell you this, though, and I've noticed this. I don't know about everyone else that's watching college football, but it seems like there's been a lot of fumbles this year, a lot more fumbles than normal.
In the NFL, too.
Yeah, they just can't keep their hands on the ball. That Michigan Army game, Don, it seems like there were 7 or 8 fumbles in that game.
And the worst spots in the, change of direction. The refs even blew one that caused the 7-point. I can't tell you, Jeff, watching that Army game, no action on the game and cheering so hard for Army just because I wanted to see it happen in Michigan again and be like, we have to wait till the national championship hopes of Michigan. And at the end of the game, Jeff, when it was all said and done and they squeaked out a victory, like they won the 1999 national championship or something.
If you're rooting against Army, you're a complete loser. Total loser. Listen, also, Michigan, their fans, Donnie, are disasters. They're the worst. First of all, Michigan's like Tennessee. Haven't won shit since the turn of the century, basically. And they act like they're Alabama every year. We got to pay attention to Michigan. Even though they've only won, I think won a bowl game, I think 6 times in 20 years. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. But they act like they're the second coming of Christ, Donnie, every year, right? Michigan.
It is. I mean, look, it's a great school. It's a really good academic school. And I always like to say, Jeff, and that's fine. Like, if you want to have like football and you just want to say, look, I don't have any expectations for Michigan. I went there and I got a good education and my diploma means a lot. And I just like to watch and have fun. That's all fine and good. But when you start turning it into like, there's such a disadvantage between them and Ohio. Ohio State knows what they're about, right? When you look at schools, Jeff, what are we about? Ohio State, you go to Ohio State to win football games, party, drink, and if you get an education, whatever, and you roll out of there. But know what you are and be fine with it. There's nothing wrong with being a Michigan fan knowing they're going to lose 3, 4, 5 games a year.
I don't think there's it's crazy how much I hate Michigan football and love Michigan basketball. I've always loved their program. Like, I like Beeline. I like the Juwan Howard hire. Like, I love their basketball program. They're like good. They're easy to root for there. But on the football side, they're just agonizingly brutal. From a fan base perspective. How does that hump Harbaugh still have a job?
He's a Michigan man. Like, again, that's the old, like, we talk about Penn State as like a cult following that they have no matter what happens. We love Penn State, and we don't even care if the worst thing happens at Penn State. We still love Penn State. Let's support Penn State. Is it the same thing with Michigan? You'd rather have a Michigan man and lose than have somebody outside change the culture. I love that.
He's one of those hardos too. It's like, doesn't matter what's going on. It's football.
I need a glass of milk with my meal. Come on, man.
Shut up, dude. It's like Bill Belichick, right? So now you signed Antonio Brown. You know what comes with Antonio Brown. You know the hoopla.
Well, Jeff, preface it by saying this. Whenever any team in the history of professional sports signs a superstar, and I just want to equate this, if the Phillies came out and signed Bryce Harper and never made him available.
It's like we get Bill Belichick, you're a fucking raging prick jerk off. We get it. Like that's so tired, that act. Or we're on Michigan. Shut up, Bill. Why don't you talk about the guy you just signed and all the shit that's going on with him? You owe it to the fan base, to people that root for the NFL, and everyone involved with the fucking team. It's in your contract that you need to talk to the fucking media, Bill. It's like Greg Popovich, the way he treats these reporters.
Yeah.
We get their questions are fucking stupid, but you have to make them look like complete assholes.
And everybody else plays along with it. Brett Brown, say what you want about the coaches. All you have to do is entertain. Hey, Jeff, I'm going to give you 2 questions. Jeff, here we go. Let's do the interview. All right, coming down at the half, Jeff, what do you think you saw out of your first team? What can you improve?
Yeah, I think we need to tackle better, and it's not difficult. Just tell us what you saw. The other coach isn't watching it, getting ready for the game in the second half. Nobody. It's a way for us to understand your thought process. That's all we want.
Nobody's asking analytical questions. And is your star receiver going to get 16 targets in the second half? You're going to make sure you get that. Nobody's asking that. They're saying, how do you want to come out in the second half? How do you think you played? And you move on. Done. It's so easy.
It's like those reporters, like most beat reporters. So like most people that work for the TV networks and stuff that cover the Patriots, they don't make a ton of money. I don't think they wake up every day and say, oh, my God, I can't wait to go see what Bill has to say today.
Yeah, can you imagine if somebody's just jamming it down your throat? Like, first of all, the press is there for a reason. And the NFL makes the coaches available because what? The NFL doesn't pay for press. That's how you get your name out there. That's how you get excitement. That's how you get people in there. And these people are just trying to do their job. Like, I hope Bill Belichick just gives me a call. I'm not asking for him to tell me the intricate details. But if I ask him a question, I can write a story on his response. That's how I get paid. And you just get stoned every time. You know what? If you're a media guy, you would just feel like you want to tear down the empire. Like, you know what? Now you're going to do that. I'm going to do like what Dan Levitar did to the Miami Hurricanes in the 90s and destroy the program by just digging up dirt all over the place.
But it's like, what players is acquired by a team and they don't have a press conference highlighting the player?
Exactly. Or how about a simple question? Bill, we see all the stuff here coming out with Antonio Brown. Did you know about the lawsuit that was coming out? And if he says, no, we didn't know. And there you go. That's all. Was that hard? And was that indictment of anything else out there? No. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about it.
I don't know why you can't, why do you have to be such a fucking prick all the time? It's like, I don't get it. But all right, let's get into some games here. We'll try to go over as many as we can. We'll take Donnie's, I'm sure he'll chime in once in a while in his thoughts. Cody AV, Best Gamba, Rob Job. What's up, Rob Job? Coop, Boy, Adam. What's up, guys? Thank you. They won't recap because they got killed, LOL. I love them, but they suck.
Who? As long as they like us? Damn, he's killing me, Jeff. I didn't have any plays. Damn. Jesus.
Balls deep as long as you're here listening. That's all that matters.
That's what people never understand, that you need people that hate. You need people that like you. You need people as long as they listen. And as long as you hit like the thumbs up or the thumbs down, as long as you type like, damn, Jeff got 762 comments in the chat box. That's fantastic. Like it's counterproductive to hate, isn't it?
Wait. Listen, let me teach all of you a lesson that don't like me or still on the soapbox of big man's a loser. Okay. By you watching me every day, you're benefiting me. By you not interacting with me or listening to anything, that hurts me.
It does.
You don't seem to understand that it benefits me. Everything I do benefits me. And to say they won't recap because they got killed, I do this show for free. I don't get anything out of coming on. Donnie, do you know how many pieces of content I've done today?
20.
This is like the 7th show I'm doing. Like the 7th. No offense to you, but this is not easy to do every day. I don't need to owe you anything. And that's where, like, shit like this, these shitheads, they ruin it for everyone else. Why don't you just shut up, smell the fucking coffee, drink it, and join the fucking team instead of bitching and whining all the time? You won't, though. You like coming in here and hearing yourself talk, but you're benefiting me, dog. That's what you don't get. Let's get into it here. Thank you, Adam. Very nice of you. All right, Donnie, let's talk about some of the Friday games here.
Yeah.
How bad is Kansas, Donnie?
It stinks. That straight stinks. And I don't know what they're looking to do, or maybe Les got to get the old SEC bag out to get some talent in there. But you say it every year with Kansas. Like, it doesn't make, like, you're in the middle of nowhere. You have an unbelievable basketball team that you can use it like as a flagship. And your football team blows every single year, except out of those, was it Mangino? Who was there? The big boy.
Charlie Weiss, Mark Mangino.
Mangino actually got him to, I think, the Orange Bowl. I have no idea how.
Yeah, people hate on Mark Mangino because he's a fat guy, but he was actually a good coach.
Yeah, dude's got to the freaking Orange Bowl one year.
Here's the thing, though. Boston College, kind of a heralded university, the East Coast. They have to have some sort of pride here, don't they, Kansas? But then again, they probably don't. They're just that bad, right? I mean, it's not something I'll be betting on. This is the one game I won't be on. I am on UNC, though. I think they're really undervalued. I had it
2.5 popping up now, Jeff. There you go. CLV.
I got 3.5.
Cash it right now.
It's all about CLV, Donnie.
Yeah, go to FanDuel right now.
I love their offensive coordinator. Love their defensive coordinator. I love Mac Brown. Sam Howell looks great. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, I think Wake is overvalued. This is a team that didn't look great last week against Rice. Barely got by Utah State with a new coach. Gave up 35 points in the process. These two teams not separated by a lot of miles here. I think North Carolina goes in and wins this game. You're going to give me as an underdog. By the way, Donnie, only team in America that's 2-0 as an underdog against the spread. They're going to cover a lot of games this year as an underdog. You can mark that down.
I think Hinton's banged up too as well at wide receiver. They have a couple guys, Cade Carney, the running back, he's banged up as well. So you got some injuries certainly coming into the game. And I do see a name, Jeff, of Surratt at wide receiver for the Wake Forest squad. One of your favorite quarterbacks of all time in Carolina.
That's not the same.
It's his brother. No, it's his brother, right?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Chase
Surratt, I believe was his name. The kid's named Sage, the younger kid. Donnie, Friday night, Washington State and Houston. Battle of the Cougars down in NRG Stadium. So, Donnie, let me explain this to you. So you got these two teams on turf inside.
Yeah.
You got Mike Leach against Major Applewhite. You got Anthony Gordon against Derek King. Donnie, I want to explain to you Houston. Okay, this Houston team, 686 yards a game they're giving up, almost 14 yards per pass attempt.
Yeah.
They gave up 248 passing yards to Prairie View A&M, and now they're going to face the best passing offense in the country. They don't run the ball, Washington State. In fact, they're throwing the ball over almost 72% of the time. The completion percentage is one of the highest in the country. And Washington State, I don't know that we should write home about this group on defense either. This team generally struggles against dual-threat quarterbacks. And you have a dual-threat quarterback here in Derek King. Donnie, you look at Washington State through two games, gave up 317 to New Mexico State and gave up 355 to the mighty North Colorado Bears. This is not a great defense. I think they're going to struggle against King. I have no reason to think that Houston's going to get any stops. 74, I thought that was a bit low for this game.
You know, I saw also, Jeff, coming up, because you play Oklahoma week 1, then you get that really downgrade of a program in week 2 for Houston. But when you look at Derek King's numbers, only 306 passing yards on the season, 54% completion rate. A little bit alarming for you early that maybe he's not taken so far. I mean, look, you got to attract me basically with Oklahoma where you were trying to come back. You should be throwing for yards, and then Prairie View. And I don't know. I don't like to start.
Yeah, I think Houston, they've been really a run team first two games here for the most part, especially last week. They had a weird game last week against Prairie View. They scored 34 points in the first half, just 3 in the second half. Kind of a weird game. They're going to have to throw in this game. They're going to be down in this game likely. They're going to have to match score for score, I'd think. It's not great, but I also think that if you're Dana Holgerson, you have a pretty good quarterback here. You got to get out and throw the football. This is a defense that can be thrown on, and I think he's going to have to recognize that. I think this turns into kind of a shootout quick. I'm just surprised this total is not closer to 80 as opposed to being closer to 70. This is just one of those games where I think you just have to bet the over.
Yeah, you won't get any weather elements down there that we always like to get surprises when you sit on the over. Rain's coming through all of a sudden. Yeah, so it's a good clean track.
Justin S., you mentioned nothing about why you think USC wins other than you like the coaching staff and how Wake didn't look great in the first 2 games. Can you give us some legit reasons? Here's my answer to that. Go watch someone else. I give Argue the most detailed breakdowns in America, and here you come wanting to talk shit about it. Donnie, you can't have anything nice in this shit, man. You just can't.
It's the greatest business of all time. It really is.
I mean, Justin S. doesn't know the difference between blue and red, yet he wants to come to me and talk to me about sports betting. Listen, Justin, go create your own channel and put out your own content, pal. Or here's an idea. Fade the pick. Justin, I'm not going to lose sleep tonight whether Justin S. bets on North Carolina or not after my breakdown. All I could say is, Justin, thanks for watching. Donnie, what do you think about that?
What, your viewpoint?
About my breakdown. I mean, I thought it was
it's exactly. I mean, look, there's nothing to go back and forth. And what's the best part about handicapping? Is not everybody's going to agree with the same exact take. The other ones I like was like, you give a breakdown to a game. Oh, but I'm on the other side, big man. So it's like, oh shit, Jeff, you better cancel that play.
God forbid Justin loses his $5 bet on UNC. Let's keep it moving here. So yeah, Friday night I took North Carolina plus 3.5. Probably going to get on that over in the Washington State Houston game, but doesn't it just seem like, Donnie, everyone's going to be on the over in this game?
Yeah, it does. I mean, first of all, who likes to bet an under anyway? But you're right; it has the same feel.
Shout out to Illinois last week, Donnie. Made UConn look like Clemson out there. Almost lost. Illinois, they ended up winning last week, but they can't seemingly ever have anything nice. There's that Eastern Michigan team again, Donnie. Doesn't it seem like a game Eastern Michigan can win?
Yes, it actually it does the way they match up, because I didn't like them, where they got to be a pure passing team, but they should be able to move the football against Illinois, and their defense isn't all that bad, and they're already battle tested. That's what you like at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Eastern Michigan's a tough team. Good defense. Chris Creighton's a good coach. They got Glass at quarterback, Shaq Van at running back. I'm going to call it right now. I like Illinois. Don't be surprised if Eastern Michigan's in that game right to the end, getting 7 points. They've been a great underdog under Creighton. Yeah. Junior Dwana's checking in. He's a big Raider fan.
Yes, he's got to be still celebrating, man. That's a big win for the Raiders.
I'll tell you right now, Donnie, Raiders would have beaten anyone in the NFL on Monday night. They were really good that Monday night. A lot of energy. Really looked tough. By the way,
Jeff, some people out there got the Broncos like +2 over the summer, had massive CLV, and that's what mattered in that football game.
Here's the problem. Joe Flacco stinks, okay?
Stink.
That CLV ain't going to cash no ticket.
Yeah, I got news for you. CLV this week, when you're looking at the Chicago Bears, don't worry about any CLV with the Bears. They are going to run a train on the Broncos. Just, you heard it here first.
By the way, Donnie, I hate to do this.
Yeah.
Because I know you and I talk about the NFL every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I got a play that I think you should get on tonight in the NFL, and I'm going to tell you about it at the end of this video. So if you want that NFL play, you better stick around. You're going to have some interest in it. I'm going to tell you right now. James checking in. Alex Holligan saying Flacco is terrible. He is. He's not good.
Look what Justin said. Look, he wasn't hating BM. He just, God bless you guys. Your content's great. There you go. Look at that.
Why do I have a feeling Justin S. is trying to get on my bad side, so I don't block him?
Because it's getting harder to make extra accounts on YouTube now.
Yeah. By the way, all about internet security, YouTube. You can literally anyone can make an account thousands of times if they want. All right, let's keep going here. By the way, Donnie, if I would have asked you where West Virginia ranks from a points per game standpoint, do you know where they are?
It's got, you know what? I didn't know if you're going to look at one of those games, but when you said the comment of Dana Holgorsen, I'm like, man, you tell me West Virginia, he stinks as a coach. Congratulations, West Virginia, man. Jesus.
West Virginia through 2 games, averaging 7 points a game, 112th in the country. Surprisingly, there's teams that are worse.
Yep.
But
he's got to leave. We have, and again, Jeff, West Virginia with national title aspirations there.
I also think it's important to mention that in one of those games they played James Madison.
Yes.
So it's like they haven't exactly played a murderer's row schedule. Now, again, James Madison's pretty good, but West Virginia has really fallen by the wayside. I mean, you only score 7 points against Missouri.
Yeah, come on.
Missouri stinks on defense.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on down in West Virginia? They can't figure out a quarterback. Shout out Neil Brown, who has brought that shitty Troy offense to WVU.
Yeah, I like that guy too. Yeah, no more No Country Road this year singing after games, I guess, at West Virginia. Did they play that even after losses, or you got to at least get the win?
I think they play it regardless. They're such inbreds down there that they'll play it regardless.
Regardless, yeah.
That's their only shot at any concerts coming there. They just play John Denver on the loudspeakers.
By the way, Jeff, I got to take you to. I had the pleasure of going to a Tennessee football game, which is Worst Miami, back in like 2000. I want to say 2003. Jeff, they play Rocky Top if they gain a single inch on offense. 3rd and 11. If they get 4 yards, they bust out Rocky Top, even though they
what a just despicable athletic program. They are so bad. I fucking despise
like
them.
Even the big numbers they used to have. Like Peyton Manning's one started around his chin and went all the way down to his mid. I mean, come on, man.
Just a complete group of just complete losers. They are such losers. It's amazing. I mean, imagine rooting for that fan base and like actually wanting to be a part of it. Like you grew up and you're like, I'm going to be a Tennessee football fan. Like, Jesus Christ, get a fucking grip on yourselves. You don't win. You've been losers your entire
That's
life.
another program though, Jeff. Do you remember like they won a national championship
in 1998
and they ran Phil Fulmer out because they should have thought they won like 4 or 5.
Yeah, right. The only coach to ever win anything there
ran him out.
We don't want Phil anymore. But now look who's their coach. Yeah. This complete idiot, Jeremy Pruitt. Remember how long it took to get him?
Oh, yeah. How about this one? This was brought up when we were talking about like Jeremy Pruitt in Tennessee. How about Tennessee fans revolting because they didn't want Schiano? They wanted Pruitt to lead them there. Congratulations. You get what you deserve, right?
Right, because Greg Schiano's had no success at any level,
right? Exactly. Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Pro coach, Ohio State, Miami defensive coordinator back in the day. Yeah, and Rutgers. That guy brought Rutgers into national prominence. Yeah, we don't want that guy.
Shout out Rutgers. Guy's coached in the NFL. He's led men, but he's not good enough here in Rocky Top.
Thanks, Clay Travis.
Shut up, Rocky Top. Thank you, Shannon Ness. Yeah, Army was a good one. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Never even the sweat, man. It was a nice one. You know, it's funny because when you have those Army games, Jeff, as we bet those, you know, you get 22, 21, you get over 3 touchdowns. And doesn't it nice to turn into a fan when you no longer even have to worry about the spread and you're just cheering on a victory as opposed to, damn, they're down 20. I hope they don't punt here in the 4th. You know what I mean? It's funny when it turns that way when you have no stress in the game. You're like, you know what? Go out and win this game.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at. It's like if you weren't rooting for Army, you were just a negative person, you know? Joshua Gray, what's up, man? Thanks for watching. Yeah, you know, Donnie, Joshua Gray, that guy right there.
Yeah.
I want to say last year, 2 years ago, when I had that great run in college basketball, he told me he bought a car off the money he's won.
I think I remember that comment.
I think it was an SUV, maybe.
Yeah.
Josh Gray, I think that was you. Maybe you bought like your girl a truck or something. I don't know how true that was, but I want to say it was you. So for all you people that say I don't do anything, I bought this guy a car, basically. And didn't ask for anything. I didn't even ask for a ride, Donnie.
No.
I didn't even ask for a ride. Not even a picture. That's what I do. All right. Mighty Penn State, Donnie. We are Penn State.
And nobody understands. Like we live, you know, around the surroundings of Philadelphia, and it's Penn State country. And I grew up here absolutely hating Joe Paterno and Penn State.
You know what's crazy, Donnie? When I was a kid, my grandpa, who got me into sports, loved Penn State. Loved them. Every fucking game we watched.
Yep.
Remember back in the day, you know what my favorite player was, Donnie?
Curtis Enos.
I liked him, but LeVar Arrington.
Yeah, he was him and Brandon Short. They run. Remember what was the game in Minnesota where he runs over the pile and blocks the field goal? I mean, he was an animal.
Remember that one play where he timed the snap and jumped over there?
Yeah, and sacked the quarterback too.
Yeah.
Yep.
God,
Animal.
that was amazing, man. What a you know who the defensive coordinator was?
Was it still Sandusky?
Yeah, that shithead Sandusky. I remember they carried him off the field. I think it was
after
99.
the Texas A&M game, bowl game.
Yeah.
Down
the Alamo Bowl.
There you go. Yep. And the key part about that too is you remember how great it was, and he walked off. I think they shut him out that game too. What a way to go out! And then it comes out later that he had like 3 kids in his room with him during that trip. What a Jesus Christ, man!
Yeah, pretty sickening. This is an interesting game though, Donnie. Pittsburgh is. I mean, they even do we actually really care about Pittsburgh football or sports in general anymore? I mean, what is Pittsburgh doing right now? Their basketball program stinks.
Mm-hmm.
Football program stinks. How about Pat Narduzzi, big bad defensive guy? This guy gets shredded every year defensively.
Yeah.
I'm not stepping in front of Penn State. I don't know how legit they are. Beat up Idaho. Who cares? Buffalo.
Don't you like Penn State when they play an inferior opponent because their coach is such a shithead that he doesn't really care about the score, and he actually thinks if they ram it down, a team that can't stop them, that said, oh, man, that recruit's going to see that we hung 70 on Kent State. They don't care about that stuff, man. Jeez.
Dude, I still remember week 1 where he was throwing on Idaho with 4 minutes to go.
Timeouts to get shutouts and try to play it off as you didn't have your defensive line.
Donnie,
Who cares if you had 2 people out there?
There's no person that hates James Franklin more than my dad.
Really?
My dad hates James. He calls me every Monday.
We got a lot in common.
Did you see what that fucking Franklin did? Throwing the ball against Idaho. The hell's Idaho? I'm like, yeah, he's a shithead.
No.
But I got to tell you, I'd lay it here. I think Pitt's pretty bad. And Penn State, they've been pretty good. Problem is, last week, I don't know what that performance was against Buffalo. This is not a vintage Buffalo team, Donnie. This ain't Tyree Jackson and KJ Osborne.
No, Khalil Mack. Yeah, no.
And that was a bit concerning if you liked Penn State.
By the way, if you like this game, because you know how such a shithead Franklin is, it's a quote-unquote rivalry game, but more from the Pittsburgh aspect of it. Is this a running up the score type shot if it's one of those, let's just say, devil's advocate, 31-10.
But when does he ever not run the score up?
That's what I mean. Yeah, but it doesn't perfect storm. We wouldn't embarrass. Like they're talking about, we might disband this rivalry. I mean, come on, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, when does this guy ever not run the score up? I mean, I wouldn't think he would not run the score up.
He's perfect for Penn State. Thank God he's there.
Yeah, he's a shithead, and so are all of them. Rob Jubb, James Franklin's a bum ass. Yeah, he definitely is. Thoughts on Bama, South Carolina? A couple people asking about that game. Yeah, I mean, South Carolina going with a backup quarterback, and actually, Donnie, it's Ryan Helinski.
Yes, correct.
Who's the younger brother of Tyler Helinski, who committed suicide 2 years ago up at Washington State, kind of keeping the family name on par there. I mean, good game last week, but it was against the Big Bad Buccaneers of Charleston Southern.
Yeah, I have a buddy that lives in South Carolina, actually works for the hospital, does a lot of MRIs for the team. But he was like, hey, man, the kid looked good on Saturday. I said, well, let's see when he gets again the SEC team, all right?
Yeah, to go from Charleston Southern to Alabama,
ooh,
a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think the only way to bet Alabama is first half.
You're getting their full punch. You do.
They've had a lot of trouble covering big numbers. And this isn't 54 or 50 or even 45, but I think South Carolina's talented enough to maybe hang in this game. I don't know, though. I don't really get involved with Alabama.
By the way, what'd you think about Saban's comments last week? He's angry that they're making him play like early games, and he keeps on playing like these shithead programs like New Mexico State. Wants to know why that he doesn't get the 8 o'clock ESPN game, so it's nice and cool and they get national exposure. These guys are so brain dead. They're so brain dead. It's
kind of why he whined the other week about how I think it was last year. He whined because no one was going to the Louisiana Lafayette
exactly. No, nobody was staying because you're up 50 in the third quarter, and these kids just want to get to the parking lot and drink. These recruits, see, you want to be number one. You don't want to put in the time. Like, is he really serious right now? Did they leave at halftime like the Auburn game or the LSU games? No.
Well, Nick, it's because you're playing the Connecticut School of the Blind and the Southern Mississippi boys choir. That's why people don't care.
You shell out so much money, like at Alabama. Like you got to make donations just to get season tickets, and 5 of like your 8 home games are horseshit every year. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's why you're not on primetime, Nick. Nobody cares about that. I mean, no offense to him, but we don't get enjoyment about watching you win 59-0 over Western Carolina. I mean,
I did when I was doing the show and talking about that. I was saying like this guy complains about these start times. You know when you would get a good start time, Nick? How about in September you go and play Michigan at night? How about you go and play like even Boston College or Syracuse at night in the Northeast?
Hey, Nick,
you'll get an 8:00 game.
Go play Washington State, or
go play Oregon in September. Be nice and cool. You'll love it, and you'll get a primetime slot.
Or hey, why don't you go play Clemson week 1? That'd be fun.
Yes, it would. Like, well, yeah. Why isn't he playing Clemson? Why is he playing everybody else? Come on, man. Chick-fil-A kickoff classic. Clemson and Bama. Not good enough for you, Nick?
I've talked before, and I'm going to tell it again. Pay for play should not exist in college football or college basketball. It is dangerous. It really hurts the athletes and people in those programs.
You're right. It should be a home and home. It should be a home and home. You want to have Alcorn State come in to play Alabama? You know what, Nick? You got to go to Alcorn State next year. How about that?
Do you know how dangerous? And credit to Real Sports, who's one of the better shows out there for actual awareness on things. They did a thing on, like, I think it was Bethune-Cookman or one of these small schools.
Yeah.
And the coach talked about how dangerous it is. I mean, you got guys at Alabama playing Western Carolina. I mean, that's dangerous.
Yep.
That's like you and me going out and playing in the NFL.
Yes.
Dangerous.
Well,
these kids get behind on schoolwork. And you know what they do, Donnie? What's really fucked up about pay for play? You know who mostly is involved with pay for play? HBCUs. And you know what they do at the end of the year in basketball season? They have a APR, academic performance rating. And you know who's always at the bottom of those APRs? I'll guess. The HBCUs. You know why? Because they're fucking slaves for the school. That's why. It's fucked up. It shouldn't happen. Those kids are as much athletes as everyone else, and they shouldn't have to pimp themselves out for your fucking gain. They shouldn't have to fund your athletic programs and miss out on schoolwork and then get fucked late in the season because they don't have an academic performance rating high enough. Why do they deal with it, Donnie?
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword because you can argue that maybe they don't get the scholarships if they don't, but you're right. Like college basketball is a different animal. Like if MEAC team goes to play Alabama in college basketball, they're not getting hurt. Like they might get blown out and embarrassed and they're tired and they got to get back on a bus. But
Donnie, they play like 14 games in like 17 nights.
I don't know if it's 14 games and 17 nights.
It's like 20 nights. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of games. And look at it. When you get to college basketball, look how many times like Florida A&M plays. It's crazy. They're on the road for like a month straight. But I mean, you don't think that Western Carolina, Alabama is dangerous?
No, I know. I'm saying in football, basketball. It's not protected. Like you have travel and stuff, but in football, you can get hurt. The college basketball team is going to get blown out, but I don't think they're going to get hurt physically because they're playing that game. But that's atrocious that they let that go on.
Yeah, so that's why, Nick, nobody watches it.
Yeah. Like, why can't we have like why do we have to have the Bethune-Cookmans and the Western Carolinas or whoever go play Alabama? Why doesn't Alabama have an 11-game schedule against all SEC teams? Even if you have to play, they got to play LSU twice this year. So what? Wouldn't you like that more as a fan? How about if every Power 5 conference just round robin right through and had to play their own, and then they got into the playoff? Wouldn't we love that? Hey, Western Carolina's coming.
Or just say, you cannot play a team outside of Division I. You can't play Citadel.
Or how about if you're a Power 5 school, you have to play a Power 5 school. Gives you 5 conferences to deal with. You can't get games. Come on.
I agree. All Or put that game on SEC Network. Isn't that why you have the SEC Network?
Yeah, I like the ACC Network where I can't even watch Hurricanes football, which is a good thing there for the past couple games. But I can't watch any games.
I don't even know where that channel is.
You don't want to know. It's ridiculous. And
I have literally every channel. I don't have
exactly. They think I'm going to sit at home because Comcast doesn't have it, and I'm going to call Comcast and say I want to pay more for the ACC Network. No, I don't care. I won't watch Miami. I love
Another
Miami.
good one is now keep in mind this isn't Alabama or Clemson. Texas thinks they should have their own network.
And they get a bigger piece of the pie from the Big 12 because they're Texas.
And you actually have to buy that extra network. Because keep in mind, Texas has won so much, right? What they win? One national title over the last 50 years?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a break.
Yeah, but they're back. Yeah,
they're back. All right, let's keep it moving here. What else do we have here?
Maryland on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that game. Quickly, though, Donnie, this is a game I really like. Minnesota, minus 15.5 against Georgia Southern. I like this Gopher team. Nice win last week at Fresno. They get a patsy here in week 3. Georgia Southern, Donnie, Shea Wertz is out right now, not playing.
Is that still because of his, arrest and they thought it was coke or not, or is he hurt?
I believe he's hurt. He played in the first game a little bit, but then he got hurt. This Georgia Southern team stinks. They can't score points. They're one of the worst offenses in the country. They have a defense that's not been good either. They got shelled against LSU. They had trouble last week with the Black Bears of Maine. They had a fourth quarter, which they almost blew the game. Minnesota shouldn't have any trouble moving the football. Minnesota, one of the better run defense in the country. I think they're ready for this triple option. And this is a triple option that has very little excitement to it. I wouldn't have any trouble laying this point spread at home. I think they win this game by 20 plus. That's
you know what you like about that too? When you have a team that's more physically superior, obviously Minnesota is going to be more physical than Georgia Southern in this game. But I like the fact that when you have a point spread of that factor, you're going to be running Smith and Ibrahim left and right in that game. So when we talk about late in the game, and if you're up 14 or you need to cover the 21, they can still get it done because that's their offense.
Yeah, I really like Minnesota here. This is a kind of a one that you don't really take a look at, but it's out there. You look at against LSU, Donnie, Georgia Southern. Their leading rusher at 37 yards from scrimmage. Just an ugly game, and they struggle against top tier opponents. I'm not saying Minnesota's LSU, but they are a much better opponent with a good defense. Mm-hmm. UCF Stanford, Donnie, isn't this what UCF's longed for as a program?
Yes.
Big-time Power 5 opponent at home.
Coming into their house, yes.
This is not a vintage Stanford team. It's not. It isn't. Quarterback
no
plays
Love,
not great.
No McCaffreys,
Yep. There's no Toby Gerharts.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good call.
There's no Kevin Hogan or Andrew
There's no Zach Ertz out there, Jeff.
Nope. This defense is bad. This is not a good football team. Now you got to go on the road, play a good offense in UCF, a team with a good defense, and a Bright House Network stadium that's going to be on fire on Saturday night, Donnie. This is going to be a good game, and I think Stanford has some trouble in this game. Joe Duffy made a great case for UCF in this game on my channel. If you have a chance, guys, go out and check that out. Joe Duffy came on, loved UCF. I agree with him in this game. Donnie, Michigan State. I want to ask you something. On the season, in 2 games, how many yards do you think Michigan State
yards
has given up?
Or just yards combined? Because I saw that one stat, like minus 47 rushing yards.
How many rushing yards in 2 games have they given up?
Probably like 50 total. Yeah.
Through 2 games, Michigan State has given up minus 6 rushing yards. Amazing. Wow. They gave up negative 73 yards to Tulsa on the ground. Western Michigan last week had 67 yards. They're still negative yards.
That's Levante Bellamy too. Yeah, you're not talking about, like, again, Bethune-Cookman coming to town. You have at least legitimate teams.
And I ask you, Donnie, you have Arizona State coming in here.
Stinks.
Manny Wilkins ain't walking through the door, quarterback. Nope. Eno Benjamin's your bell cow. Good player, but this is a top-level defense with a good quarterback. Michigan State.
No N'Keal Harris. Yeah, come on. They're devoid now of talent.
They might be the best defense in the country, Minnesota or Michigan State.
What happened to Arizona? You get Herm Edwards in there. You can't do like Kalen Ballage. I mean, they had running game, they had athletic quarterbacks, wide receivers. Who was that? Was it Grantham out there before? No, not Grantham. Who's the coach?
I think it was Grantham.
Whoever the offense, he was an offensive guy.
I think it was him. Yeah. But either way, I mean, yeah, there's not a ton of talent in this team, and this is a tough opponent you're going to play here. In Michigan State, I wouldn't mind laying the 14 here. I'll be honest. I don't know that Arizona State scores over 2 touchdowns. I think Michigan State's good for 30 probably. I don't think this is a vintage Arizona State defense.
How about that over-under, Jeff? Good grief.
42, yeah. I think it's a lot to a little. I think it's like 31-10 or something.
God.
But, yeah, Michigan State's legitimate, really legitimate. What else do we have here? Florida, Kentucky. I couldn't care less. Clemson, Syracuse. Donnie, Clemson's laying 28. What's the talk about Syracuse this week? They stink.
Yep.
They got
what's wrong with the offense?
You get 28 here in a down spot for Syracuse. They usually play well against Clemson.
Spots a couple times. They almost beat Clemson as an underdog, and also was it Louisville they gave a scare to, or even beat Louisville? Or Florida State was it? Syracuse at home.
Yeah, they do it every year.
Yeah. Yep.
They're tough.
Mm-hmm.
An over I like this week. Hawaii and Washington. I like that game over the total. Hawaii can move the ball. I know this is on the mainland, which they generally struggle in. But they're good enough for 20 points, I'd have to think. And this defense stinks. Washington should be able to move the ball, especially off of a hard luck loss to Cal. I think they can put up 40 probably. This total seems a bit low at 59. Hawaii can move the football. Good quarterback play generally for that group. TCU, Purdue. Purdue could be without Sindelar.
That's big.
Yep, definitely want to keep your eye on that. And this TCU team, Donnie, I said before the season started, this team's legitimate, man. They really are. They have a really nice kind of 2-quarterback system right now. Alex Delton, more of a running quarterback from Kansas State. They brought in a kid named Max Dugan. He's a 4-star recruit from Iowa. This kid is really good. He reminds me a lot of Carson Wentz. I watched a lot of tape on the kid. He's really good. Keep your eye on Max Dugan down the road for TCU. Could be the best quarterback prospect they've had there in a long time. They can move the ball. Always a good defense. I want to see what's going on with Sindelar, because one thing I know about Donnie, Purdue, they can't stop anybody. So I have my eye on TCU. I'm going to do some digging here and see if I can find something on Sindelar. If you
bye week 2 for TCU, Sindelar, I don't think he's going to play this weekend.
Yeah, I might get in on that if that's true, because I like TCU. I like this spot for that group. Sean Higgs, love the scroll, Donnie. It is headline news 96 all over again.
Damn right.
Yeah, it looks like the stock exchange.
Yeah.
They have those scroll things. All right, let's do one or two more, and then we'll get up out of here. Where do we want to go, Donnie? Oh, Nebraska, Kings of blowing the lead. Donnie, did you watch this game last week, Nebraska?
I did not. No. But I watched it. It looked like it was going to be a blowout early. Oh, there goes Nebraska running over a bad Colorado football team. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, they owned the first half. I mean, it was 17-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
And then Colorado just came up and hit him in the mouth. Northern Illinois is not going to be easy either. That's always a tough team. I don't care if Rod Carey's gone. Maryland Temple, you mentioned that one, Donnie. Maryland's going to come back to earth. I had a guy last night on Periscope, Donnie, ask me if I thought Maryland could get to the Final Four. Crazy.
Yeah.
Temple, always going to play hard. And one more, Donnie. I want to talk quickly about UCLA. You know, I heard that rat shithead, Chip Kelly, earlier on TV talking about to relax. It's not as bad as people think it is. The world's not falling. What the hell are you watching, Chip? This program's a mess. Is he nuts, Donnie, Chip Kelly?
I think he is. Like, isn't he's like the type of coach that comes in so heralded that, like, doesn't matter what players are there, they should be able to put up like 45 to 50 points a game, and no matter what, win like 8 or 9 games. And they stink.
Quarterback play sucks. I will say this, though. This total seems a bit high, Oklahoma, UCLA. Has anyone watched Dorian Thompson-Robinson? Has anyone watched this kid?
What, watch his decision making?
I mean, even if you're Oklahoma, Donnie, you got to handle the business here defensively. And I do think UCLA is a bit better on defense.
On the road, too, man. Minus 22. Jesus Christ.
73.5 seems a bit high on this total. I might even look under. Chip Kelly is a definition of cringe. That's well said, actually. All right, Donnie, let's go to one game. And look at that cat. Holy shit. That freaked me out.
I'm going to leave her up here for the rest of the show. Give you some good luck.
Great. Just when I'm about to give out my NFL pick.
Yep, there you go. She's going to stay right here and watch.
I like the Dolphins this week.
Oh, God, jeez.
I've been looking at this game for an hour. I'm going to tell you why I like the Dolphins. First of all, what happened this week for the Patriots?
AB, distractions.
All right. A lot of guys. Got to get the ball to all of them.
Yep.
It's going to be a concern.
Yep.
It's on the road, right?
Yep.
It's in Miami.
Yep.
What was
every time New England goes to the state, forget about Miami.
They struggle.
State of Florida, they usually get pasted. Yes.
And what's the recency bias with Miami?
They quit. They stink. They're going nowhere.
No one wants to play on the team. They're awful.
Trade. Let's get out of here.
They're NFL players now. There's got to be some pride with this team. If you're going to learn anything about Miami, if they come out here and lay an egg,
it's a wrap.
Yeah. It's the Patriots, the big bad Patriots, any given Sunday, as they say. And I'll tell you right now, the Patriots under Bill Belichick and Brady, they put a lot of games. They've only been a road favorite of 14.5 or more 3 times.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen often. Yep. 19.5 in this game, Donnie.
Craziness.
And who's their quarterback of Miami?
Fitz.
How many times has he played against that Patriots team? A defense that's not that good. This isn't the Ravens. This isn't the Bears. This isn't a good defense. It's too many points. I'm taking them.
In the pros, 19. And we're not even talking about like 19, Jeff, where they're at home playing. Like the Dolphins are going up to Foxborough. At home, 3 touchdowns.
It's a Super Bowl for the Dolphins, Donnie.
Oh, my God.
I've seen stranger things. This is a decent team in Miami. They always are. And Fitzpatrick, after this week, it's back to Fitzmagic, baby.
Oh, my God.
Are you in? You in yet?
I mean, look, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not taking the Patriots. That's for sure.
I actually do like their team total over.
Hold on. No, let's even like counterbalance this. Like, I know you're looking full game, but don't you think at least, because hear me out on this one, 12 in the first half, Jeff, plus 12. If they're not covering the 12 at the half, that means they quit and you ain't got a shot full game. Like, don't you think they'll be like, you know what? Let's go out and see what happens. Because can't you see, like, oh, look at the score, Jeff, 7-0 Miami first quarter. Like, I think if you're going to look at that's almost 2 touchdowns. If they're down 14 points at the half, they're getting boat raced. It's a wrap. I would say if they're covering first half, that's your best shot. I like the plus 12 in that.
It's actually a decent point.
Yeah.
It's a decent point.
Because you see them being down like 20 at the half and fighting back? Hell no. They already quit. You know they quit. That's money burnt. But I can see them being like, hey, guys, let's just go out and see what we could do in the first quarter. You know?
Yeah. I mean, if they quit, they quit. I mean, that's actually well said. I might have to consider that as well. But
you know what? I'm doing it right now. What do we got? Hold on. Let me check out. Let's go to I'm going to go to your favorite, Jeff Sugar House right now.
The worst book ever.
I'm going to see if I can get a better line than that 12. Because some of these are like, hey, the Patriots, we don't have enough Patriot money in here. Let's see.
This line's moved a lot, too.
Yes, it has. Let's see. Play Sugar House. What do we got today?
Yeah,
I got to see. I got to see what it is on Sugar House.
I'm definitely taking the 19. You look at Donnie, Miami. Okay, this is interesting with Miami. I think they've covered 4 or 5 against the Patriots.
Dude, whenever the Patriots go to Miami, they struggle big time. And we're not talking about great Miami team. Like, oh, but that Dolphins team went to the Super Bowl. No.
And you got one football to throw to 5 or 6 different guys. Donnie, last 3 years, Miami 9-5 at home against the spread. They've actually done pretty good. They've made you money if you bet on them at home.
Spread 19 alt lines. I don't even know how they do first half on this. Oh, there we go. First half. Here we go. Dolphins are plus 800 money line first half. How about a tie at the half, Jeff? Plus 1,900. First half spread. Oh, look at that. 10.5. Oh, they must know something, Jeff. Damn.
They must be listening to the show.
They changed it.
They just moved it. Hey, Donnie, also, what's the strength of the Dolphins if they have one? You want me to tell you?
Yeah, please.
They're secondary.
Oh, yeah, Mika Fitzpatrick. Yeah, no, Xavier Howard. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right. So, I mean, have I sold any of you guys yet?
Boy,
by the way, Donnie, who's to play for them?
Who?
Eric Rowe. He might have some.
Well, let's also talk about the head coach. Brian Flores was their defensive coordinator last year.
Good point. Listen, all you guys can do is jump on it with me. If you want, you can. If you don't, that's fine.
Jeff, you're so stupid. Who does that?
We'll see all of you on Sunday for the Sunday closing line on SBR.
Good show, man. I had so much fun last week. That hour went through so fast. It was so much fun to have it back.
Yeah, it was a great show. We had a lot of people in there. We had like 500 people at one point.
Yeah.
For anyone, by the way, they just pulled me off the scrap heap. I come in, we get 500 views.
Yep.
Live.
Good to see you back, big man. Not too many. Why is this fat guy back on here? It's more love, Jeff. It was all love on Sunday.
I think I saw one guy. He's like, who's the fat guy? It's like I'm actually losing weight, but
yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Damn, people.
What else do we have here? That's it. That's going to be the show for tonight. We went over plenty of games. Donnie, any by the way, did you hear what Clay Travis said on the Lock It In show earlier?
No, give me it. What do we got?
Dude's talking about hand jobs.
Oh, wow.
On a national TV show.
Was it part of an analysis on a breakdown that we like?
Basically, he was talking about Todd Furman, oddly enough. And like the host had to like apologize for it.
Oh, no, there was an apology. It's got to be on. I got to find it now.
It was on. The host like apologized, like right.
Like they came back from commercial and she apologized.
Yeah, she's like, we want to apologize for some words Clay mentioned earlier.
Man, we would never make it on like national air, would we?
Dude, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it live.
I do. I will.
You have it?
Oh wait, you have? I don't have it. No, hold on. Let me see.
Just type in Damn, where is it? Someone retweeted.
It's got to be just under Clay Travis. Somebody's going to say it.
Oh, fuck, man. Where was it? It seems like they're, like, deleting it, man. Fuck, man. I got to find it here.
What's the show called? Is it Lock It In?
Lock It In, yeah.
Lock It In. Let's see.
Damn, it's so funny.
Yeah, I'll have to find it a little bit later. I don't see anything up here.
Yeah, but they had to basically...
That's great.
Apologize.
Like Desmond Howard? Like, does Dave's gonna have to choke a bitch or something like that, or Wayne's gonna have to choke a bitch? Fantastic. Some of these guys lose their head.
So I gotta tell you about this, Donnie. Right before I let you go. So right before I got on the air, I posted a clip from The Sopranos, right? And it was the clip where Phil goes into that bar and sees that Lorraine Caluzzo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it has the phone book. There you go. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
So in the video, Lorraine walks in and the dude she's getting money from goes, here's most of it or something.
Yeah.
And Lorraine goes, Lorraine goes, she goes, so let me ask you something. She goes, let me ask you something, Dan. Let's say I'm some big N-word standing here.
Mm-hmm.
You going to tell me you just have half it?
Mm-hmm.
Some guy hits me up and goes, I can't believe you posted that. That is so racist. I said, it's a fucking TV show. I didn't say it. It's part of a TV show, you stupid fuck.
And if you take a job anywhere, Jeff, you know somebody's going to retweet that. Like, can't even believe this company would let this happen.
Well, that's what actually, it's funny. VSiN actually told me that I can't do videos there because someone contacted them and said that I was a racist. And that there's all these posts of me saying,
dude, you're already good. You and Lucky's probably going to jump you then this weekend, Jeff, right? You get to go to a rap show with the guy.
Listen, I've talked about it 4 or 5 years ago. I put some song lyrics out. Sorry. I mean, they're song lyrics. I'm clearly not racist.
Jesus.
Not really sure why I had to answer that. But. All right, we're out of here. We're talking too much here. Donnie, good stuff. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
We'll see you on Sunday. Anyone that wants to see it, we're live Sunday, 12 o'clock Eastern on SBR's YouTube page.
Yeah, we're breaking the record this week. We're going for like 6 bills in there. We're going to shatter all records at SBR.
Hey, you know what's crazy, Donnie? On this channel, I got 804 one time.
Yep.
During college hoops.
We're going to shatter it.
We're out of here. You all have a nice night. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.